to the third hour of Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time. This morning, it's Eric Latif and Mariam Bishar. Our colleague Janet Bogwa is away for today, but the conversations continue. For the next 2 hours, we are taking the mic to the ground, although we've brought the ground right here, but leo tunauliza ground inasemaje. Niko nataka kufanya hivi, nikaona wacha nisifanye hivi.
That's another thing. That's a political party sasa.
Hiyo imechukuliwa.
Labda tuseme sisi ground inasemaje?
Ama nishike hivi yangu.
Sawa. Ground inasemaje? Hey, that's too close to the other one.
Hiyo inakuwa hivi.
Yeah.
Ground inasemaje? That's a question, and we have people from the ground who are going to be engaging with this morning. But first, let's give you the news fix for the hour. Kenya's fresh produce market has taken a hit as volumes of miraa exported to its key destination, Somalia, fell by 16.9% in the first half of this year, dropping from about 2.1 million kilos to 1.7 million kilos of miraa exported to Somalia. According to the Agriculture and Food Authority, AFA, this decline has been largely driven by increased competition from Ethiopia, which has been granted exclusive access to the Somali market for 10 days every month. Farmers and traders in the counties such as Meru, Embu, and Tharaka Nithi say the slump is worrying because miraa supports thousands of livelihoods in those regions.
There was a time who had banned was it us who had banned the export of miraa into Somalia, or it was Somalia that was not taking our miraa?
It was us who are controlling the flights that go into Somalia and come in. Because of security. So you need vetting and all. Okay. Then remember Mombasa had issues with miraa and mogoka.
Yes, that was the miraa ban in Mombasa and mogoka.
Now Somalia has decided, you know what, we have neighbors, more than one. And our neighbor Ethiopia is also growing miraa. So let's give them exclusive access for 10 days every month. The only miraa in Somalia is from Ethiopia.
Hi.
Wakiongeza na siku moja, miraa yetu ina drop. Wakiongeza na another 10 days,
we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I think we're not serious about miraa as a cash crop. If it is a cash crop and we indeed want to treat it as such and foreign exchange, then let's be serious. Let's regulate the sector. Let's do our best. Let's find other markets for it, even outside Somalia.
Let's market it.
Let's market it, yes. Somalia is not the only place that consumes miraa, but it is the largest trader so far. So let's regularize that as well. Our next news fix for the hour, ODM is marking 20 years in Mombasa. Oburu Oginga has been confirmed as party leader. The Orange Democratic Movement is celebrating the 20-year anniversary in Mombasa, a milestone celebration that will also usher in a new chapter of the party's leadership. During a meeting of the National Governing Council, ODM formally approved Oburu Oginga as the new party leader, taking over the position previously held by the late Raila Odinga. The council has also endorsed key deputies from across the country. Now, the 3-day celebration in Mombasa highlights ODM's political journey, its grassroots legacy, and the party's renewed push to consolidate support ahead of next year's campaign. Yes, ODM at 20. What does that mean? It's the Orange Democratic Movement. Is it still a democratic movement? Has it been co-opted into government? Are they fielding a candidate into any? Maswali ni mengi, and we get different answers depending on if you're speaking to young Turks or ODM, ama Opio, Wandai and Badi and Co.
The experts.
The experts, yes, who've been donated to government. Yeah.
And how they see the party going into the future. Yeah, one of the conversations that we're going to have for the next 2 hours.
Yes.
In terms of our politics and all. And we have visitors and guests here with us. Watu wametoka ground, wamekuja hapa, wameleta ground kwa studio.
Right.
The ground has come to the studio. Asanteni sana for joining us. We're going to do a round of introductions, starting from the front, and then we go to the back. Just introduce yourself, what you do, what you're passionate about, na ground yako vile inasema.
My name is Lydia Karancha. I'm a gender and development expert. I come from Nairobi, especially around the Bakasi North. I'm a lover of women and girls. I'm a woman, and women which the issues dealing with women are always at my heart. And then ground aiko sawa. As Olal said, SHA is really not working. So the issues and coming to women, we are really at risk when looking at the mortality rates. Yes, and I'm glad to be here and share whatever is really happening from where I come from.
Very good.
My name is Ali Ekhai Michael. I come from Turkana County. I am a youth leader. I recently and head of an association that I was leading, Turkana County Colleges and University Student Association. I was also elected by the 47 county association presidents, where I represented them nationally, and I still hold the role because I'll be handing over in June as the Public Relations and Communication Officer. I'm glad to be here. I'm passionate about governance and policy, and as a young person of this country, the only thing that I would say, size ground eco excited because we have seen the government brought about the Nyota program. So many young people are looking forward to it, and we hope it achieves what it is intended to.
How do you spell your name, Ali?
Ali Ekhai.
Ali Kha?
Ekhai.
Ekhai.
I'm Ekhai.
Ekhai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm Susan Lumumba from the Social Justice Movement. I come from Dandora, and my passion is in politics. I'm an aspiring member of the County Assembly in Dandora Ward 4-5, come 2027. And my dream has always been to see young people being involved in the politics that happen in this country, that take place in this country, because for the longest time we cry as young people. You know, we are told that we're the leaders of tomorrow, but that tomorrow never comes. So personally, I believe our tomorrow is today. And mine, as we engage, as we continue to engage, I hope that we can be able to encourage, or rather convince young people the importance of being involved in the active politics that happens in this country. I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to these conversations. Thank you.
Asante.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Margaret Wamaitha from Dagoretti. I'm so passionate about women and making sure that the voice of women is heard to the loudest. Because I've noticed every other time women, their voices are heard in the kitchen. This time we want to sit where other people are sitting, and when they're making decision, let them remember that we are there. And I also work with young girls, mostly the ones that are involved in sex. Nasema wanawake ambao wanauza ngono mtaani na kijijini. I give them a safe space where they can discuss about their rights and without being judged by anyone.
Thank you.
Today I hope we'll still discuss more.
Yeah.
Asante. They have the mic, so you can start with
My name is John Kamau. I come from Njoro sub-county, that is Nakuru County. I'm the national chairman for New Generation Aspirants, which is a young or a youth-led political movement, which we really intend to transform into a political party so that we may do what my sister is talking about. I'm also a politician. I vied for Member of Parliament seat, Njoro constituency in 2022. And what the ground is saying, especially where I come from in Njoro, insecurity, the issue of insecurities are so high. And from the onset, allow me to send a message of condolences to the family of a young man called Jeremiah, who was butchered, a grade 6 pupil who was butchered in Njoro, just close to his home. So the issues of insecurity are quite high in Njoro, and the police are really doing a terrible job. So I hope to engage more on matters governance and politics of the country. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Eddie Ogutu, a member of the Kamkunji Pressure Group, Kibra, and also the chairman of Kasapoj, which is an activist group. Also, I'm known as Makabina, the unlearned lawyer. For that name, the meaning of that name is a topic for another day. As we celebrate ODM at 20, I wish to say to the nation Kenya, pole for the loss of Raila. One confirmation from the ground, the way we have always believed that Raila is immortal, Raila can never be killed, Raila will never die, this is confirmed. As we are speaking today, before Raila died, his name always featured in politics. For you to be relevant in politics, you either had to mention his name, either negatively or positively. As we are speaking today, that still stands. And Raila is active in politics, even in 2027 politics, he's going to be active. Thank you so much.
Asante.
Morning, my name is Remy Dela Ilosoti. I come from Kitisuru. I'm a student leader, the immediate former Secretary General of Multimedia University of Kenya and the current student president of Multimedia University of Kenya.
I lead caucuses within the students nationally. I'm passionate about whatever the youth is involved in. And I believe I'm the only remaining voice of reason among the youth. We try to open eye of the youth so that we believe we move from WhatsApp campaigns to the ground campaigns. That's my take for today.
From WhatsApp campaigns to ground campaigns.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Lydia Gitange, a lawyer. I work at Chaplains of Hope that deals with tracing young children that are lost. I have a keen interest in human rights, governance, and social justice. And I hope the session will be inclusive as we engage more on human rights.
Hamjamboni.
Hatujambo.
My name is Happy Olal, the national convener of the social justice movement. An activist. I hate impunity. I believe in social justice. I believe in human rights. I believe in accountability. I believe in good governance. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Happy.
My name is Robert Kiberenge. I'm from Bunge la Mwananchi. Bunge la Mwananchi is a national social justice movement with the chapters all over the country. It's a platform for citizens expressing themselves on issues that affect them. I'm an accountant by profession, and I'm also the Secretary General of the National Accountability and Governance Caucus. I'm here to amplify the voices of the people on the ground. I'm here to speak for Mama Mboga, mtu ya boda boda, because we are told the economy has stabilized, but the question on the ground is, it has stabilized for who? That is what I'm here to discuss.
Because you're saying you represent that ground. Your ground inasemaje? What exactly is the ground saying from your conversations at Bunge la Mwananchi?
Yes, there is this continuous narrative that the economy has stabilized. But are the people on the ground feeling the stability of the economy? The truth is that the people are not feeling that stability. You know, we are using bei ya unga to measure the growth of our economy, unfortunately, and very sadly. That in the 21st century, when you ask how has our economy grown, you are told unaona bei ya unga iko chini. So basically, we are using the bei ya unga to measure the growth of our economy. What I'm saying is this: when you say the economy has stabilized, the shilling has stabilized, and so on and so on, you see, you have lowered the cost of basic commodities, and then you have raised taxes. So there's nothing, essentially there's nothing you have done, because you have given with one hand and taken with the other. You have lowered the cost of living, and then you have slashed school capitation by 10,000, from 22,000 to 12,000. So, are you helping Mama Mboga? Are you helping Mutu ya Boda Boda? So the growth of our economy cannot be measured by how many people, you know, trade at the Nairobi Security Exchange. It should be measured by purchasing power. Do people on the ground have that purchasing power, even if you have lowered the bay of unga? Because even those who are having pay slips, the pay slip is under pressure. You know, purchasing power for people has reduced. People no longer purchase the way they used to purchase some years back. Purchasing power has really gone down. People cannot afford unga even if you reduce it, because of very high taxation regime that we are having right now. So basically what we are saying is that the stability of the economy cannot be felt on the ground. It is not, it is not working for the people on the ground. They can't feel it.
I want to open it up a little bit, because this idea that the macros are good, the economy is doing good. We've lowered inflation. Kiberenge, as you've said, other things, cost of unga, stable. The shilling has been at 129 point something for 3 months now against the dollar, all of that. When you think of your own pocket, does it feel relief? Do you feel better over the last, let me say 6 months? Do you feel like you have more money than you did, let's say, at the same time last year? Honestly, if you do, yes. If not, yes. And also, if there's any parents, speak to what Kiberenge has spoken about capitation and the reduction and what that will mean for your school fees next year, actually. Mm-hmm.
Can I go?
Go ahead, Remy.
Thank you so much. Sometimes when I listen to conversations that do come by, I sometimes ask myself whether we're reading from where we are coming from and there we are headed to as a nation. Mm-hmm. The only problem maybe with my generation or the current state of affairs is we tend to reason much on what is circulating on social media vis-a-vis the reality on the ground. Mm-hmm. That has been the painful part that we found ourselves as a nation in. Mm-hmm. Someone talks about capitation in the institution, mm-hmm. and I now borrow from myself, coming from a family where is dominated by teachers. So I do understand a little bit when it comes about what capitation is and blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I want to remind my good friend Kabereng that the only problem we are having, the only difference that we are having between the former capitation in the last regime and the current regime is that someone has come out to remind us, someone is coming out to tell us that, see, this is what we can be able to provide as a government. And then the whole of the 15,000 is transmitted to the institution. Vis-a-vis someone who was telling us that we're able to give every student 22,000, but then they submit less. So you find all the institutions were busy, or all the institutions, the schools were busy preparing their budgets based on the capitation that should be released by the government, only to find that institution or schools were getting into huge debts because they believe that amount will be there. So every year or every budget year, every budget cycle, that debt would continue piling up. But now we are in a state where now you live in the reality that, see, brother, we have only 15 that we can be able to provide for you. So when doing your budgeting or when coming up with your budget, we have that 15. So I'm tempted to believe that the only problem with us, the Africans, that we hate sometimes the reality.
The truth.
Yes, so that we want to live, we want to romance our ego and live in the aspect of that fantasy. Okay. So when the reality hits us hard, that's when we now tend to believe that things are not right. But also before you buff me up, which I know you're coming in from, I want to remind us that sometimes logics sometimes and facts, when they're merged together, then best suits a man. What happens in that situation is, let's now move from that politics where we used to sit next to those granaries in the olden days, and then now we start speaking in the direction that we best feel. Let us now come to reality where we reason with the facts and whatever that is there. Then we take everything that belongs to us and then we see. We say, blah, blah, if you take 2 and add to 3, am I able to get 5? Or when I take 1 plus 1, am I able to get 2?
Okay.
That's the fact that we should be able to figure out right now.
Happy wants to maybe back you up. I doubt it, but let's hear from Happy. And yeah, just speaking of the facts, maybe you have them on hand, but capitation, reducing this year from 22,000 to 12,000. So that's a 10,000 shilling decrease. But I do get your point, Remy. You're saying they would say we're going to give you 22,000, but they remit way less than that, and you've budgeted for 22,000. However, if I'm not wrong, even at the worst, and even through the delays, schools would get at least 18,000 shillings per learner. So then that's still a 6,000 bob decrease. But Happy, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to disagree with my friend here. Because if you look at the budget for this year, the budget for education has gone up. So if it means that the budget for education has gone up, why is capitation going down? Why is this money going? Hii pesa yote tumepea education. If the budget for education has gone up, we expect capitation to do what?
Go up.
To go up. You take money up and then you reduce what is going to directly support students. Do you know what this means? It means that next year, starting in a month's time, in 2 months' time, you will pay 10,000 shillings more in school fees. And the challenge we have in this country, huwa tunapandisha bei, alafu tunapunguza kidogo. And then we say, yeah, we are doing well.
Tumepunguza bei.
Yeah.
Tumepunguza bei. It is a problem.
Ushike hiyo point yako hapo. We have to go on a short break, but happy. Shikilia tu hapo. We'll be right back after this.
So,
you're right. That's how we are. Ikifika, ongezeni 10,000, alafu watu wapige kelele. Basi 8,000. Asante. Aya, we're going on a short break. Hashtag is Fixing the Nation NTV. Ground iko aje mahali uko. You can also call us on 0719038858. Capitation matters, politics, human rights, governance, SHIF, SHA, zote. We're talking about that kwa baraza yetu leo.
Greetings at Nation FM, greetings at NTV, greetings at Nation Fixers, all the panelists, Eric, Mariam, and Jeno. Greetings from Kangemi. Here is Nicholas once again. Peace is everything. Let's continue praying for Tanzania during this election time, although they have done with it, but let's pray for peace in Tanzania. Let's pray for peace in Uganda. Let's pray for peace in Kenya. Let's pray for peace in Africa. Let's pray for peace in the whole world, because without peace, nothing is possible. Greetings.
Thank you, Nicholas. That's a wonderful WhatsApp Nation video. You're a true fixer. It's not your first time or second, actually, sending us a WhatsApp Nation video. We appreciate it. He's done a great job. Ameweka simu in landscape, nice and flat. Akatuambia jina lake, ako wapi, what is he doing to fix the nation from Kangemi. And he's told us, let's keep peace at the top of our minds, at the top of our prayer list as well, for our jiranis, for Tanzania, for Uganda, and for ourselves. Tukue jumuiya ambayo iko na amani, not just jumuiya ya chaos. Au sio? 0112-500-400 is the number to send your WhatsApp Nation to once you figure out what you're doing to fix the nation, ama what you wish could be done. Again, 0112-500-400. We're back in conversation. Tuko kwa ground, although ground iko kwa studio. We're just figuring out the pulse of the country. Where are we? Has anything significant changed since 2022, since maybe 6 months ago? And we had just gotten into the conversation on capitation, on funding for education. Remy said, you know, we've slashed capitation, yes, but it's a more realistic figure, as opposed to government saying it'll give 22,000 shillings in capitation and then only giving less than that. And Happy was just saying absolutely not. Pick up from where you left off, Happy.
Yeah, you know, when this government came to power, they came with a promise that they were going to be better than the previous government. So you cannot tell us the previous government, they were giving us 22,000, you are bettering it by slashing 12,000 to 12,000, you slash 10,000. The previous government had something called Linda Mama, where women, pregnant women, were giving birth for free. It was painful when last week Sonko went to rescue women at Mama Lucy Hospital because they could not pay they could not pay the maternity bill. You see? So what we are asking, is this government making things better or worse? And the government is always on top of vehicles, campaigning, making sure that nyinyi hamna akili, throwing words, but they should be in office, making sure that the lives of the people of Kenya is getting better. Life is getting harder. Right now, people are not even talking about Christmas, because if you think about capitation, if you think about healthcare, something called SHA. Last week, Ruto was paying, Ali support a politician by paying a bill of 2 million. Yet on this other side, he's telling us, ukienda hospitali uitishwe pesa. Ufanya nini?
Usilipe.
Usilipe ama uripoti kwa polisi. So this government, when you cannot support education, when you cannot support healthcare, when you cannot support the cost of living, because saizi, according to government, tuko na pesa mfukoni. Sasa ukipatia mtu 1,000 shillings, aingie na supermarket, what is the weight of what they will come out with? So mambo kwa ground si vizuri.
Ni mbaya.
Ni mbaya sana.
Yes, let's go on. That's John, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, this must be me. So I want to premise my argument on a simple story of a young man or a young boy went to the father seeking to know what politics is. And I asked father, what's politics? So the father said, son, think about politics this way. I am the breadwinner of the house. Think of me as a capitalist. Your mother administers all the money. She's the government. We take care of you. You are the people. The nanny is the working class because they've employed her. And your baby brother is the future. So he tells the son, go and think about it. So later at night, the young boy had his baby brother crying, and he went to check and found the baby brother soiled. He had soiled his diapers. So he went to his parents' bedroom. And upon getting there, he found his mother fast asleep. So he decided not to bother the mother. He went to the nanny's house. It was locked. So when he peeped through the keyhole, the boy realized that his father was actually having an affair with the nanny. So the baby or the boy despaired and went back to sleep. So early morning, he woke up and decided to, during the breakfast, he went to the father and said, well, Dad, I think I now know what politics is. So Dad said, oh, son, tell me what politics is. So this is what the boy said, that when the capitalists are screwing the working class, the government is fast asleep, the people are ignored, and the future is in deep shit. Now I want to relate that to what is happening in our country and why the young people are rambling about what is happening in the country. And I want to chase my brother with wisdom. I hope he's not faster. Education or the capitation. He's saying that the previous government would promise 22 but give less. Personally, I went to school during that regime, and there was no single time I went without school fee. So whether the government was paying 22,000 or not, there was no single time I went home for lack of fee. And therefore, it is untrue that the government promised what it could not give. Delays might have been there, but the government always gave. So telling us that the government is only giving what it can afford today is a total joke. Because what are our priorities as a country? I believe education should be the priority. When we got independence, Kenyatta used to say that our enemies are three: ujinga, umaskini, na ugonjwa. So it therefore beats logic when a government comes and chooses to ignore education for other things. And therefore, we would expect that any governments that come in must prioritize education and must tell us, if, for example, they cannot afford the 22,000, they must see how. They totally cannot reduce capitation. They must see how to up the incomes that they are collecting. Think about housing levy, for example. They came up with the housing levy for houses that people never wanted. In fact, out of the public participations that happened, you realize that most Kenyans were opposed to that. If you go to the ground, we are talking matters ground, you realize that everybody is pro-education because most of us, I believe, close to 50% or more, are coming from poor backgrounds. While we denied education, most probably we will not be here having this conversation with you. And therefore, we've been empowered through education. Ruto has not given me a job, government has not given me a job, but I am here, courtesy of the education that I got. And therefore, I submit that this government is serious on serious matters and very serious about the serious matters. And therefore, they must go back to the drawing board and really figure out what the country needs. Obviously, education is one of the priorities.
All right, John. Just, okay, I see the hands going up. We'll get there. But just to be clear, it is true that government was not paying out capitation in full. A lot of schools are in quite a lot of debt as a result. The beauty of it is, yes, I think they would hesitate to send students home because of failures on government's part. But they are in a lot of debt still with their suppliers. So even now with this 12,000, that is being promised, one, will the full 12,000 even get there? If the initial promise was 22 and they were getting maybe 18, if I'm not wrong, in some incidences, that's one. Two, how do we make the same things that used to happen with 18,000 happen with 12,000 Palana? But yes.
Are these two wrongs or is it one wrong and one right?
Yeah. Ali.
Okay. I would wish to submit myself and also say again that whatever is happening right now is like because the president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, was the deputy to Uhuru, and he knew whatever was happening even in the Uhuru's government. And one thing that I wish to submit, not even being siding with the government, is that I am a graduate from the Technical University of Kenya. By 2024, the Technical University of Kenya was facing closure, a total shutdown, because they could not even pay their staff for many months. They could not cater any bills. And the issue is this, because as a student, I was enjoying. I could not be sent home because of school fees. But one thing that the government is doing now that I've seen they're doing is that they are trying to balance that as much as we are keeping these students in school, we don't lose our universities. Another issue with our healthcare, you realize that many hospitals, in fact, the Association of Private Hospitals, they distance themselves from NHIF many times. You know why? Because they had a lot of debts and the government was not paying. Do you know why? I am sick. I go to the hospital. And what happens is that the government promises to pay my bill through NHIF. Later on, when these hospitals are trying to claim this money, the government doesn't pay. And by 2021, NHIF had accrued, like, I don't know, in debts more than 11 billion, something of that sort. So the thing is this. The reason why I believe the government is trying to be honest with us is that, yes, there is a time we were telling you that we are remitting 22,000, but in reality, we were doing less than that. And that lie of not remitting 22,000 was almost killing many institutions. What if now this institution face the reality that whatever we are expecting is 12,000 and not the 22? So it means they are going to cut their expenditures and everything, and they might start facing this reality well. And another thing with the hospitals, now hospitals are at least aware that when someone comes to the hospital, this is what we expect from them, and this is what we expect from the government. So that we don't storm Kenyatta National Hospital, all of us are okay, all our bills are okay, but Kenyatta National Hospital is dying because of bills. The government can't even cater those expenditures. So that is what I believe, that the government is trying to be more honest with us with what is happening.
All right, the two ladies next to you, Lydia and Susan, have been itching. Okay, start Susan, then Lydia. Yeah.
I thank you very much. I think we are not addressing the real elephant in the room, which is corruption. Why are we having these fallouts when it comes to education and healthcare? Money is being stolen every day. And you want to come and tell us as parents, ati hakuna pesa ya kulipia mtoto wako shule. Yet we are seeing you everywhere, ukitoa donations, milioni sijui ngapi, umepea watu sijui milioni ngapi. So the problem ni corruption. The moment we deal with this one, with this monster called corruption, then everything is going to fall into place. And if the president had the goodwill of fixing this country, that was what he could have started with. You know, deal with it head on. You know who is stealing what. There's a day he was saying he knows who receives money from where. Yeah. But he can't mention names. Why? At some point I thought maybe someone came and said sometimes it's good to set a thief to catch a thief. But because you cannot.
I think.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
You have to withdraw that.
No.
In a national television,
let me finish.
You cannot call the president a thief.
Why am I withdrawing? I'm expressing myself.
Let her finish.
And I'm so sorry if you don't like it, but I'm expressing myself.
Go on.
Let us be honest. We are here to kuongea ukweli. Tuseme, si tumesema ni tuseme tutoke.
Yeah.
Ground, even though ground iko. Pesa inaibiwa. Pesa imekuwa ikiibiwa hadi wakati tulikuwa kwa ile serikali nyingine. The former president alisimama akasema, we lose 2 billion shillings on a daily basis in this country. And then tunataka tukuja hapa tujifiche ati sijui government wanakuwa honest when they are the same people who are stealing from us. We are paying taxes. The last 2 years tumekuwa kwa streets kwa sababu ya taxes zikiwa zinahaikiwa. Hiyo tax inafaa kuja kutufanyia kazi sisi kama wananchi. And if at all haiwezi kuja itusaidie sisi kama wananchi, then we don't have any business with this regime. We don't have any business with this regime. So the biggest monster in this room is corruption. Right. And until this regime decides to fight it head on, which it will never happen with this regime. Maybe the next coming regime of former Chief Justice David Maraga, but as long as we are having this regime here, we are still going to complain. We are still going to cry.
Susan,
yes.
We'll come back to how the regime fights corruption when even we are corrupt on a day-to-day basis, but we'll come back to that one. Lydia?
But the good thing is we are all paying taxes. And as Article 43 of the Constitution, very clear that I'm supposed to attain high quality of education. Now this education, last week I went to Eldoret and then I went to school. I was told at least nyinyi mulipewa capitation. Now they're not going to get a capitation. They're going to pay 56,000 in 1 year.
Sorry, this is which
college? Eldoret National. Now the colleges now, apart from the universities now, which at least yao ni raisi ni 6,000. Now see, it's going to be added 30,000. Now education is becoming from a right to a privilege. The time of Kibaki I was young, right? But at least they had free education. So I really don't know if this regime, Ruto, you remember when he came in, he said, sorry, I'm a Mamboga and I was to Anduthi. So when this education is becoming more expensive, are we all going to school? Are we going, is the bright future that we are always saying, is it reality? Or is that we are going to stay? So to Madare, wezi expect ende kulipa hii pesa. At least it was government sponsored. Some of us, hizo vitu kwa TV na uko mbele. It's just PR. When it's come to the ground, parents, you talk about living standard. Living standard, we have women, mwenye anapikanga, we saw some time back, anaeka mawe kwa jiko so that the kids know it's their food coming. But there's no food. So whenever we are talking about how we are as the state of the nation, what is really, really happening? We have women suffering. We have people going out to work. There's no work. Talking about the Nyota program. It was supposed to be for young people. Where I come from, those young people went to apply. Waka apply vizuri. When I went to school, doesn't mean I have work. When you are talking about a program for young people, I have to also get it. I'm a young person. Sena sasa mumekuja na criteria ngine, if you are past tertiary, you cannot access this Nyota program. And you said, Junimenda University niko na kazi.
Right.
And all of us said, we cannot get white collar jobs. I have to have a business. Maybe I have a business that I just want it to be boosted. But tunyenye mukisema, pass from 4 party. You see, also we are trying also. Young people, maybe kesho sitakuwa a young person again. Meaning when I'm there, also there's so many criteria that I'm supposed to follow. Talking about health. During Huru, we had Leader Mama na zero campaign. The one that the containers beyond zero campaign. The one that wamama walikuwa nazalia huko. Squeeze it getting
Linda
worse.
Mama, is it the
Beyond Zero, the first
wait,
ladies
is it
campaign.
the first ladies, the run? The one that was funded by the run?
Yes, we had the run
The
and also the clinics that were helping women.
Oh, that's Beyond Zero, yes.
Yes. Now, with this regime, I really don't know what the first lady usually does. For me, this is how I feel. If you go she's praying. We agree, we all deserve those prayers. But we don't know we don't need those prayers without actions. In our informal settlement, women wanazalia kwa geti ya hospitali. It was very sad. And then talking about the SHA, which the government bring. At least in NHIF, you know, right now, si tunatoka ground. There's no employment. Women or men are really suffering. NHIF at least, kama angekuwa kazi, angesaidia familia mzima. Now it's coming to the SHA. He's supposed to pay for himself, pay for me as the wife, pay for the kids. You see, as in this is someone who cannot even take care of himself. Going whereby lady ameshika mimba nafaa kwenda hospitali. Right now I've seen level 2 there wamekata fundings. The government has shown the government funding for maternity in level 2 hospitals. There's someone in Dandora, someone in Kayole who know that hiyo hospitali ndogo ndio itamsaidia akijifungua. Now, what are we really looking at? We have been talking about maternal mortality rate. Are we really killing our women while we are seeing, well, the first lady is just there praying for us? Right. We really don't need prayers. What we need is action. I cannot sit down seeing women dying each and every day when the nation is keep quiet.
Right.
Alafu mnatuletea vitu haziwork.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And the maternal mortality issue, again, you only make a pin because lazima tuirudie. But I do believe you still have your dependence on SHIF. Bado kuna the provision for having dependence. But let's hear from Eddie. Eddie amekuwa he's been asking for that mic for a while. Go, Eddie.
Okay, thank you. First of all, talking of matters of education, I think we should not restrict our attention or focus to capitation. There are so many issues we should be talking when we are talking of education. The quality. Like right now we are in primary schools, we have got CBC. This CBC, the teacher does not understand, the student does not understand, even whoever brought the idea. They simply went somewhere and picked it and came and planted it in Kenya. That is one. Right now as we are speaking, pupils from those schools, they are in schools. Schools are closed, but learning is going on. In churches, in school, they wear civilian clothes and they go to school. But what does the law say? We have Act of Parliament which not only outlawed but illegalized tuition. We should ask ourselves, why must pupils go to school when schools are closed? Is the time insufficient? Are the teachers not well paid? We should pay teachers well so that they don't look for other means of bringing income. My brother talked of things going wrong while the government on rooftop of vehicles. Then we ask ourselves, who is government? Is Ruto the government? Is executive the government? We are all to blame for this. We have got measures in place to handle this, but we are not doing the right thing. There is parliament to do the right thing. The parliament, who is there in parliament? Everybody, the entire nation. Then we have got the article in our constitution which says all the sovereign authority belongs to the people. What are we doing as a people? He brought up a very sensitive issue which I agree with. My brother was saying that the university education is fully funded. Well, and we should clap for that. But who goes to that university when there is a gap down there?
Akusema fully funded.
Akusema
alisema what the
help yake
receiving help before.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood.
Yes.
He said that he was comfortable with the model. But here down, where everything is in a mess, where are we going to get the students to those universities?
Right.
Which means we are getting back to somewhere where only the rich will get to those universities.
So, Eddie, let's take a break. We'll come back and continue shortly. We are continuing this conversation for another 1 hour. And what we are doing this morning is fixing the nation, bringing the mic to the studio and saying, ground inasemaje. We are trying to have as unfiltered a conversation as possible so that we can hear what the ground is saying. There are very many instances where you may feel, but if that's what the ground understands, that's what the ground understands, and we've got to bring it to the surface.
Yes.
We'll be back in a moment at a minute to 9. We're fixing the ground, fixing the nation, one ground at a time.
One ground at a time.
What are you talking about? What is
As you can hear, the mic is hot. It's on the ground, and it is hot. Ground inasemaje? Hivyo ndio ground inasema.
Ground haisemi kitu moja, that's for sure.
Ground inazungumza.
That's for sure. Hey.
Let's give you our news fix as we come back into our conversation. Our first news fix for this hour, Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruto has criticized former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over claims linking political rivals to election-related violence ahead of the Mbere parliamentary by-elections. C.S. Ruto, in a statement, described the allegations as irresponsible, urging politicians to rely on legal and constitutional channels instead of making statements that could incite unrest. These comments come amid heightened political tension in the country as candidates prepare for the highly contested by-election, with authorities warning against acts that could disrupt the polls.
Okay. Some other news now. Nairobi County has banned pro boxes from transporting meat. Nairobi County government has banned the use of pro-box vehicles for transporting meat within the city, citing public health and safety concerns. The move aims to curb the illegal and unhygienic movement of meat, which authorities say poses a risk to consumers. Officials have directed meat traders to use approved and licensed vehicles for transport. County officials warned that anyone flouting the directive will face strict enforcement measures, including fines and confiscation of unapproved vehicles. This ban comes as part of Nairobi's ongoing efforts to regulate food safety and to improve public health standards. Okay, I'd like a little bit more information on this. Is it specifically pro boxes, or is it any vehicle that does not have a refrigerator, you know, that is not built for transporting meat or sensitive goods? Is it just a pro box, or
I believe it covers every any other vehicle that does not have that has not meet the standard. But probably they're saying that, you know, they've seen the influx of the use of these particular vehicles to carry meat, and then if you look at how they are, you don't have a clean sanitary container that is properly labeled, because that has to happen. You see those numbers on that thing written meat. The number actually signifies, it tells you the slaughterhouse where this meat was slaughtered and where it is. So you know, you can trace back to where the meat came from. So ukiweka tu nyama ati nyuma ya gari hivi kwa gazeti peleka kwa butchery.
I'm very much for that, honestly. Traceability of food. I know it sounds, the Nairobi County government has banned, you know, pro boxes. It sounds funny at first, but food traceability is really big, especially as we grow as an economy. It's incredibly important for public health. If something goes wrong, you need to be able to find the source so that you prevent it from going wrong for others, right? And you nip it in the bud. Now, the question is how to enforce such a ban, because if you find me with 20 kgs of meat, na niseme tu ini yangu nilikuwa tu nimechinja yangu na watu wangu, sifai kuchinja nyumbani kwangu. Inspection by health officers. So siwezi chinja kuku kwangu.
Sasa alafu unaweka kwa pro box, unapeleka wapi?
Napeleka rafiki yangu, mama yangu, someone.
Sasa unaona, you see. Let's come back into the conversation as we're going into the break. Eddie was saying we also have, you know, a lot of responsibility here in our leadership, in how, because we elect MPs to check the executive. So if the president is on top of a vehicle somewhere, the person who should be asking very many questions on our behalf, Eddie, if I understood you right, is our MP. We have MCAs. We have Susan wants to be in the next MCA somewhere. She'll be the one who should be asking questions, not telling us that, governor. And anyway, Eddie, endelea.
Things first, Miriam, I would want to agree with your sentiments. The mention of Probox in this matter is really suspicious. Might be the moment Probox is being mentioned, there is a new brand of vehicles on ships coming, because I've always seen it is not only Probox. There is Isuzu Hilux with those containers at the back. But why did they specifically pick on mentioning
the Probox? The
Probox. Also, I can wake up one day, maybe when I have visitors, even kama sijachinja nyumbani, I decide to go to Dagoretti, kichinjio, I buy meat and bring it. How do they address that? And between Dagoretti and maybe Dandora or Kawangware Kibra, what is going to happen to the meat? Why must it be refrigerated between that place? That is, we have question marks on that.
I think I don't know, I really want to assume that this is for anything for commercial consumption, not wewe umenunua nyama yako. This is for commercial consumption. You're taking from kichinjio to city market.
Unanunua wapi
kwa kichinjio?
Okay, back to our discussion.
Okay, yes.
Okay, we were also talking about SHA. but I want us to focus on this. I want us to consider this. Sometimes back there was noise everywhere. SHA is not working, SHA is not working. But shortly afterwards, you see the Union of Doctors, I don't remember what it is called, it is coming back to say that SHA is overpaying. Overpaying for what if SHA is not working? The truth that is that SHA is fully working. It is paying for everything, unlike the previous NHIF. But it is being, there is a group who would want to maintain capitalism of NHIF who are trying to fight SHA. But the truth is that SHA is working. The problem in Kenya, which we must address, is misinformation. We should get a TJRC with powers like Supreme Court to address matters as from 1958. Because as we are standing today, there is a serious ethnic animosity. People speak in accordance to the region where they come from. Even when good things come, they reason in accordance to the region where they come from. So we should have a TJRC with powers equivalent to the Supreme Court to address matters of historical injustices. That is when we will tell one another the truth, then we will address these issues. When we are talking, let me say something about my friend Kiberenge was saying that it is not just about reducing prices of food. That is very true. There are so many other issues surrounding this matter. Here is a question whereby every other 2 months, 3 months, we have a review of fuel prices, upward or downward. But what do we do about the salaries? They are always constant where they are. But the person who should be speaking on behalf of workers is busy doing politics. This is Mr. Tuoli. Mr. Tuoli has never spoken on behalf of workers. These are the matters which we should address. Thank you.
Thank you. Trade unions are incredibly important. Just wait, by a show of hands, SHA is working? All right, that's 4. SHA not working? That's 4. We are tied. There's some people wako katikati.
Not sure.
Yeah, not sure. Aya. Nani ameshika mic? Sawa, Remy. Alafu Lydia. Lydia hajaongea lakini.
Wacha Lydia aongee kwanza.
Yeah.
Lydia Kemunto, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And Margaret as well, who has not spoken.
Yeah, they've not spoken.
Okay, we all know that education is the greatest equalizer, but I have an issue with the shortage of funding. We've seen lecturers recently, they were on strike, and most youths are in universities. So, wakiwa nyumbani, unemployed, what in a rise ni high crime rates. Ukiangalia marginalized spaces like Kibera, Dandora, Kawangware, and all that, they didn't have anything important to do, not all, but hii kukaa nyumbani, it has caused a lot, and we'll see that in what will rise later. So, what else I wanted to say ni, like, for these reforms to be there should be accountability in watchdog institutions, kukwena check and balances. Kuna that weakness, like we all say about corruption and transparency. Na it starts ata with us. Juu, wewe pia, maybe you are corrupt in one way, so you can't call out corruption if yourself you are corrupt.
True. Margaret, just because we haven't heard from Margaret before we go to Remy.
Personally, I want to give a short story about SHA. I had someone who was very sick, and carrying the mindset from ghetto, ikitu work. So I went with that mindset to the hospital. And in fact, everything I was told, I was saying, ikui. But to my surprisingly, it worked that day. So I don't know if it was working for that time. Then, because after that, I heard some people saying it wasn't working. But it helped.
Okay.
Because the situation was extremely bad. And it paid. Because I believe I could be having an Mchanga bill payer to raise some funds to maybe pay a bill for someone. And again, the issue of education, I think we said education is the key. But how many of us, they can wake up in the morning today and go to school? I only have one child. And I'm even scared to buy for her dress because of January. You can imagine how bad it is. Ground, vitu ziko different sana. Some of us, we knew when it's Christmas, it's the time to invite friends. But we are scared. As we are thinking about education, this woman who stays, who's Mama Mboga in the community, is she even able to provide a basic need for the child? Basic need, hiyo ni mkate, hata si mkate, sturungi, because some of us maziwa tunaonaga supermarket, tukitembea. So, as we are speaking here, let's start thinking of so many other things that I think the government should just step up.
When you said, for example, unafikiria January already, because you know there's an extra 10,000 or so, or it could be more depending on the school that's going to be needed from you. What's the plan ya kuplug your deficit? Because essentially, parents are not earning more. Unless something happens between now and January, maybe gig ikuje, I don't know, upate kazi ingine, or side hustle ijipe, you're able to plug that gap.
Because when I speak here, I'm not even speaking about Wameda who is seated here. I'm also speaking about those vulnerable women that I work with in the community. Do you know, every other time we hear this bursary, we wake up as early as 3:55 or as 3, just to go and make a queue to get that form. Because either the wake up, ile job unapata, you're getting 200, will you even save for food or for school fees? And again, let's think how many girls are dropping out of schools because they're not even able to not even get school fees nowadays. Pad. And again, we are saying, pad si pad too. Ubora wa pad ndo muhimu. We have so many things in the ground that are happening. And as we are saying, not the president alone. The president might be doing what is right, but those other people who are supposed to be presenting, we have representatives for the president. And I think it's all of us. This is all of us to step up. You as a good citizen, step up. The other people also to step up, because you cannot just sit down, uanze kusema ni konja na ujenda kutafuta kazi. You play your part, as you also tuwafanya wajukumike. Ni sisi sote tufanye nini? We take responsibility as citizens.
Speaking of kufanya kazi, just before we go, Remy, I know you really want that mic. You had said you're very passionate about the rights of sex workers as well. Why is that important to you? And what does that mean? Do we either legalize sex work and tax it, or do we find ways, to make the work safer for them?
I want to drop this question to you. Kuna pesa inakuwaga imeandikwa pale imetoka?
Hakuna.
Si pesa ni pesa. Yes, and work is work. Sex work is work. How many parents pay their bills every day, single mothers, and they use sex work? Maybe I wake up, I'm seated here and maybe I had 5 customers. Na nimelipa fare na hiyo pesa. So it should be, and I think president should just give sex workers as a kitty. Just, a special kitty for single mothers. Because the single mothers are the ones who are hunting every other day. I come from Kawangware. All of you know Kilelesho and Kilimani. What works have been done there? Every other day we hear girls, like me, every other single day. My girls will wake up to go to work. And they say they are going to, do you know kazi ni kazi? The one who is selling gono there is also a worker. Analipa tax, because at the end of the day, atalipa school fees. And I need, the way you're also protected as any other person. The way MPs are protected, they should also be protected.
So for you, is it legalization or this kitty?
Yes, it needs to be legalized.
Legalization?
Yes, and not even to be judged by what they are doing.
Yeah.
Because work is work. And also to be protected, because sometimes I find it weird when a sex worker is arrested and you walk in a police station as a woman, unasema whatever it has happened, mtu amelala na mimi na amekataa kunilipa, wanakuuliza ulikuwa unalala na yeye aje. Do you need to know the formula of how I slept? And then results is payment. And people again need to understand that this is work like any other work.
Yes. Maybe to add something, it's really coming out that we are losing so many women. It's something like this year we had a lot of femicide cases.
Yes.
These femicide cases, our president, let me call him Hawa, because ni wetu wote. So he gave out, was it 100 million? Yes. Which supposed to help in end femicide. Akapewa wabunge. Sisi kwa grassroots, each day a woman is dying. We really never knew where that money was. And how do we get accountable for that money? Because sitting down, whatever Margaret was saying, it's really what's happening on the ground. Unapatanga wa mama, mtu anakuja kuza mbono, hakuna kazi ulipata kama ufanye sex work. These women are facing gender-based violence whenever they're giving out service. I usually say they are giving out services, tunapeana services. Are we really coming out to respect and also respect work? What is really the labor or the gender part in culture doing that, protecting our own women? We really have even men doing sex work. It's not about women. Kuna wanaume ambao whenever kufanya ngono like malaya, and I usually sell. Now let me say the truth. All of us are prostitutes. Whatever service you are doing, this is me saying from my own point. Because when we are coming out to discriminate those women, those men doing this work, in Kenya, there's a lot of unemployment. We are trying also to look at, there's a woman that I said, ako kwa nyumba anapika mawe, watoto wakule. Kids are very hopeful there's food coming. We're really having every day the issues of neglect. Women are going outside there to coming after 1 week, children's officers, child protection officers are coming out to take this kid. Now we are coming out to seek the government that whatever is work. As far as I'm not harming him or he's not harming me, can we just legalize it? As far as this is how we really want. And also, where was the money that was given to us to end femicide? Because it's not about women, it's about us, society being safe.
That's right. The End Femicide Task Force, that's some questions to ask, the funding as well. And yes, I think plugging the tax deficit, that's one of the many ways. Legalize tax.
I was to say,
regularize,
what Margaret is talking about is just bare minimums. That the government must focus on bare minimums provided for under Article 43 of our Constitution. The bare minimums. You see, like, for example, what we call affordable housing is not a priority. For 22 million Kenyans who cannot hardly afford $1 million a day, housing is not a priority for that person.
True.
I mean, who will be happy living in a concrete jungle
with
while
no food.
He's hungry on an empty stomach? So the bare minimums is what Margaret is talking about, is what she's talking about.
Right.
And you know, for example, the priorities of the people of these informal settlements is income. It is not housing. If you go to Kibra and ask people, what do you want first? They will tell you, I want an income. If you take them to those concrete jungle you are constructing, they will still rent them out and come back to Kibra. Maybe that now is their income now.
Yeah.
The priority. So what the government needs to do, and I know they will not do it, is invest massively in manufacturing.
Right.
So that they can give people the first priority, which is an income.
Right. And you're right, Kiberenge. It has happened before.
Yes.
The affordable housing that was done in Kibra.
Yes.
And then people were given the homes.
Yes.
But they rented them out.
They rented
to
them
people
out
from
and
Langata.
came back to Kibra.
Yeah.
And that will happen. Because their priorities are an income.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aya, quick one. Nani hapa ame-register boma yangu? 1, 2, 3 out of 10. Haya. Wale wame-register kwa hiyo boma yangu. Do you understand how you're going to get this house, what house you're paying for, if you're going to get a house? And everyone else, why haven't you registered for affordable housing? Mbona hujenda boma yangu? Unajua boma yangu ni nini? Yeah, let's just talk affordable housing, guys. Aya, let's start with you, Ali.
Okay. I think I would first start by at least debunking some.
We're coming to you, Ali. Iremi, no. You're so frustrated.
I feel like as an honest man, I will wish to debunk some of the lies and also tell my fellows that one of the problems that we have as a country is us spreading rumors, misinformation, and everything. I want to put it on record straight on record that the First Lady doesn't run a program of intercessors. Personally, with a group of some other youth, we made an inquiry on the same, and there is no such a thing. The First Lady is not running any program on intercessory, and the only thing that is there is that the First family is a Christian family, and they tend to lean towards Christianity because it's what they believe in. So it's also not good to attack their beliefs in God and everything. So And on that again, I would also wish to mention something as I pick on housing. You know, one issue that we have as a country also, or as even, or the young people, is that there is a time that we should be now making the Kenya that we want, because we are nearing an election period. You know, on the 30th of June of 2022, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto launched the Better Plan in Kasarani Stadium. And I don't know, when Kaberenge, when you say that housing is not a priority, do you know whatever is happening right now by democracy? We signed a social contract with the UDA, and by us electing William Ruto, it means that we subscribe to his agenda, because there were options. If the Kenyan people never wanted, because Better is a 5-point agenda, and the first one is agricultural transformation, and the second one is MSMEs, the third one is housing and settlement, the fourth one is healthcare, the fifth one is digital economy. So the Kenyan people voted for William Ruto. It means that they subscribed for these main agendas that he was advocating for. For Kaberenge, it's very wrong to say that it's not a priority, yet the Kenyan people believe this is what they wanted, and that is what the government is implementing. On Boma Yangu, I've registered in Boma Yangu, and it doesn't look like sort of an high purchase or maybe like a loan, but it's like it's like a, can I say, like a pension scheme, whereby you are contributing money to a house that you are already living in if you make the first tranche of your payment.
First installment. I mean,
Yes.
first deposit,
Yes,
major
yes.
deposit.
Yeah. But now, because the government to us is not like a business that you are doing like a business with. But now for us, it's like a payment, or maybe I'll equate it to a pension scheme, such a thing, whereby after some years, when you leave service, you will be having a chunk of money somewhere. But now at this point, after you finish the value that the house is rated for, you will have the house fully for yourself. And the good thing about the affordable housing, I don't know where you get the happiness of enjoying that someone in Kibra needs food and everything. But is this also the phase that we want Kenya to live forever? Because the housing, if you read the Better Plan, or maybe the bottom-up economic approach, the housing was not just about only the uplifting the face of Kenya. There is also an aspect of jobs. Over 250,000 young people and Kenyans are now working. You saw the housing department advertise so many jobs and everything. So as much as we are complaining about jobs, there are so many other people who are getting jobs. Hata watu wa Kibra unatetea, kuna watu wanauza mandazi hapo kwa hiyo housing, where the affordable housing is happening. There are people who are doing business there, and somehow it's contributing directly to our economy. And there is also an aspect that we are trying to miss from. I'm one person who has really tried to understand the president a lot, because that is one thing that we need to do as Kenyans. You can't elect someone just because he was shouting to the other, or maybe he was saying one term and so. One thing that we need to agree with Kibarenge is that the president is more passionate about people who are wale wako chini huko. And yes, that's why, and I will wish to defend that. That's why you can see, you are saying SHA is not working, because if you are working, if you are someone who is salaried and everything, SHA might not be favorable to you, because even the contribution you are making is big. But for someone who is not working, you only pay 6,000 in the entire year, and you are going to enjoy the same services as someone who is working and everything. About SHA not working or not,
as you wind up, so that
yes, as I wind up,
like very 30 seconds.
If there is one program that the president is so passionate about, is SHA. Do you know why? Many Kenyans, even at the time of NHIF, could not afford health care as it used to, like a surgery. Leave alone the things you talk about going to an hospital that it was free. But right now, recently, I am a student leader, and I have seen students go for surgeries. We recently had a student at Coptic Hospital who was undergoing a kidney stone removal, and SHA paid 243,000. How would that student pay that money in NHIF?
All right. Thanks, Ali. Let me just give Remy the mic. Amenuna sana. But also, where is an unemployed person meant to get 6,000 shillings a year? Okay.
I think I was sad.
but it's coming. Sometimes I get to weep for my generation. All the band that I'm having, one factor that is uniting them is that they're economical with the truth. And before they start speaking, you'd think that the angels who have just arrived from heaven and are about to take a sabbatical leave in the suburbs of Karen, only to realize that the facts that they are owning are generated from small groupings within Nairobi CBD. I would like us to start reasoning in a point that we make facts look like facts. That is where we are. And I'm sad that if this is the kind of mindset that we're going with in the next general election, for sure we can bet this one. We are losing it as a nation, and then we are going the wrong direction that we never had.
What is the issue? What's the issue?
The issue
Why are you sad? Why? What is this thing that we're going with?
Yes. That's where I'm coming. I'm dealing with a generation that is economic with the truth, and that's where I'm coming. I want to remind us that one of the things that we need to know is that corruption did not start yesterday. And it's not only in this government that corruption is much indebted into. And I want to remind you that since independence, we've been crying about corruption. And I can assure you that even in the next regime, if President William Ruto will not be there, we'll still be crying about corruption. So if we want to talk about now corruption, let's have our facts right and open our eyes and see the broader part of whatever that we're handling as a nation. Number two, I want to remind us that if you see someone say, one of the reasons why me as Rema went to the streets, I think that was about the finance bill, was about how luxurious politicians were taking life. That was something that was pushing me so hard. It's us, and one of the things that we said, when the president came out, our demands at the express was that let the office of the second lady be scrapped off, which, as at of what I should know, is that office, unless it's funded legally, but what I know is that our demand was met at that point. Number three, you would not expect that Mama Rachel Ruto to fund what she does not have. She's not Red Cross. Even Red Cross is being funded by World Bank. So sometimes we need to put our facts right and see where we are coming from and where we're heading to. About issues that people are talking about SHA, I'm happy that it's even coming out clear that someone is attesting that at least SHA is working. The problem we are having with, as a people is that we believe in whatever that we hear. When I hear someone say that it's not working, then I pick it from there without even realizing or without even consulting how it is, then I move on with it. And that is what I want to preach. President sitting on top of the vehicles, dear panelists, is not that because he wants. When he was impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, you heard what the president was clearly crying about. I'm a lonely voice at the top. So if he's got no people to do it, to help popularize whatever that he wants, so let him do it. Because what matters in politics is I'm doing something, I'm not being popularized. So what do? Let me popularize it myself. I'm also sad when it comes now to mainstream media and the media industry at large. Sometimes when I read your news, your magazine headlines, sometimes it's like, are we trying to blackmail our country or something? Those are the things that now when the president hears about, now he has to come and defend his government. Because the MPs that these people elected themselves cannot come out and make policies that can favor them. It's the MPs that you're saying you are giving 100 million or something to fight for GBV. Have you ever asked to MP where that money went to? If the president delivers something, we also should be held accountable at our personal levels. Let me ask you, at our county levels, we have county government. Yes, I'm finishing. We have our county governments. Have you ever asked yourself even one particular day Have you even thought about what is happening back at your county government before skyrocketing your grievances at the national level? So I believe until we change our mindset, the only thing that we are suffering from is that aspect of I've been told this and that's what I want to move out with. Let us get our facts right. Let us listen. Let us take our whatever that is needed for us. About education, about the lecturers striking, the way she was saying that lecturers were on strike and people are now students are becoming criminals. That is a CBA that was signed in 2017. When I don't know where I was in 2017. I don't even think I was somewhere next to university. So sometimes we only come in to solve things that were created by the regime. It was crying about now CBC back at the village. CBC was choreographed by the former regime. And the regime just coming to try and fix whatever that was there. About health sector, my brothers, health sector, the NHF was full of cartels, and those are the cartels that are trying up to do what? To fund a particular hashtags online to see that share is not working. So unless we open our minds and see facts right, we're not going to move up as a nation. I'm a sad man.
Okay, let's give the mic to Susan and then we go to Happy.
Thank you. So I really want to correct my brother here on matter corruption. Just corruption. I won't touch on anything else that you said. Because we were born, tukakuja tukapata corruption ilikuwa, does not make it right that we normalize it. Does not make it right that we see it as ni kawaida. At the end of the day, haiwezi isha. And I feel like you've really let down your generation, because this was the same thing that they went to the streets to fight. They came out as tribeless, partyless, leaderless. Because of what? It was only one thing that united the country. Corruption, high taxes, high cost of living. We are paying taxes, now services are not being rendered. That was what brought people out. And they said, that's why I said, the moment we deal with this monster called corruption, then everything else will fall into place. And it is not about William Ruto because he came and akapata corruption ilikuwa pale, so there's nothing he can do. I think at this point as a country, what we need is a servant leader. I think we are so fed up with politicians because they politic everything. We are having the president every day on top of cars, like my colleague Olal said, when he's supposed to be actually doing something for this country. When he's supposed to be actually changing this country. We are having him on top of cars.
Susan, I said, though, the president, I mean, our leaders are not the only ones that are corrupt.
Yes, even us we are corrupt.
Yes.
Even us we are corrupt. I am not disputing. I'm not disputing that. But where does it start?
Where does it start?
From me. Okay. Yes, it starts from me. Okay, I'm talking of now. We're not going to the general elections. We have a mandate as young people, or rather the bigger generation that is here, to make those right decisions. And it starts. It again starts with us making the right choices. It is high time we stop this politics of handouts. Nimekuja, maybe let's say me I'm a proxy of my member of parliament in my constituency. Nikuja nimtetee hapa. Yet I know very well he's doing nothing. He never speaks in parliament. He never tables any bills zenye zinakuja kunisaidia mimi kama constituent member wake. So it is high time as young people tuanze to make the right decisions. We should look beyond 500 bob that we are being given with these politicians, because I feel that is what defines our next 5 years when it comes to elections of this country. So it either starts with that, and that's why I said when I'm talking of a servant leader, is someone, you know, we are having good people. Even in this race of presidential, we are having good leaders. We are having people who have not even been tainted. And these are people who have worked in these government institutions. What is stopping us from giving them a chance to see if they can be able to tackle this thing called corruption? And that's why I said, there's no way I'll be a thief. And then you give me a position and expect me to come and deal with Margaret stealing. You know, at the end of the day, he'll still come back to me and he'll still remind me, you know, so it's either unyamaze, niendelee kufanya kitu yenye nafanya ama
both of us.
Exactly, ama si wote tuanguke. So it is high time we start being politically conscious.
Okay, sawa Susan, just a quick one. Happy we're coming to you. You guys are very active in your communities. Be honest with me here. Bei ya kumobilize watu ni kama how much per person?
Ina depend. Yeah, wamama ni cheap.
Kama ngapi?
You know, kwa watu kwa community kuna tofauti. Kuna watu wanakam kama security. kuna watu wa Nduthi na kuna sasa others. So ina depend kwa hiyo category uko wapi. Security has a higher price, watu wa Nduthi a bit high, alafu others ni so mbili hapo. But I wanted to talk about corruption. Former French president akifungwa. Kwa nini? Sababu ya corruption. Tumeona China. Corruption in Kenya, we don't talk it in figures. President wa Kenya, William Ruto, earns 2 million shillings per month. Sindio? Basic salary, 2 million
ni
shillings.
1 point something. Sasa imefika tu, but
it's around 2 million.
After I think allowances nini yeah, inakaribia huko.
In presidency ya 5 years is 60 months. 2 million times 60, hiyo ni pesa ngapi? 120 million in the course of your presidency for 5 years. Last week, Ruto alitoa 50 million to build a church. You know, unless we start asking those questions, where hii pesa imetoka wapi? Hii pesa ambayo deputy president anaenda akipatia watu inaitwa empowerment. Hiyo pesa imetoka kwa budget line gani ya serikali? Because that is a government function. Na unapatia watu pesa, sijui nini, harambes. Hii pesa Faruk Kibet anazungusha Western Kenya inatoka wapi? Unless we start asking those questions. And the person who spoke about at CCPR, we need to do something. Young people of Kenya walienda parliament in June 2024, June 25th. And they told parliament, you are illegitimate because you are not listening to the people. The people said, we don't want finance bill. Mulitu tax last year. This year, give us a break. What did the government do? They killed them. This year, the same young people wakajitokeza wakasema, we just want to commemorate the people who were killed last year, led by Rex Masai. What did the government do? They killed more people. Wakasema basi saba pia tukuje tuongelee mambo yetu. What happened? More people were killed, and for the first time, even women were raped. So when you're talking about the power of the people, people are expressing their power through the streets protest. They are expressing their power online. What are you doing now online? Bring a law to make sure people cannot express themselves. So this is a regime that is fighting against the people. Na nikipata a young person anasema, oh, William Ruto alisema sijui 5 points, and you know, it inanipatia stress. Because when you come to speak about mambo ya ground, anza na nyumba yako, jiulize, are you doing well as a person? So that we are able to help this nation, tujue shida iko wapi. So what I'm saying, corruption can be fought. When Kibaki came to power in 2003, watu walikuwa nashika polisi akiitisha hongo. People were ready to fight corruption. But the leaders failed us at that time, the same way they are failing us now. We need to ask ourselves, how is it that leaders are buying helicopters? How much is an helicopter? MP analipwa 1 million. Helicopter ni 120 million. Hii pesa inatoka wapi? Until tufike hapo, we demand accountability for our resources. We demand accountability kwa hizi loans. Kila mwaka loans zinaongezeka. Saa hizi nasikia hii mwaka 600 billion dinaenda kwa development. In a budget of 4.3 minus 600 billion. Hii pesa ingine 3.7 inaenda wapi? Kulipa loans, ingine ni ya kulipa workers. Where does the rest of the money go? We are not looking at this corruption critically. We are not looking at figures. Mtu akwambia 1 billion, watu wengi hatujui 1 million inatoshana aje. So ukimwambia 1 billion na 1 million, watu hawajui tofauti. We need to start looking at figures. We need to start speaking facts. Tuangalie mshahara yako na ukitoa harambee, kwa sababu mimi nikitoa harambee, the best naweza toa punch. Kwa sababu the economy venye iko. How comes huyu analitoa more than his salary and we are not asking questions? Where is the money for economic empowerment ya Kindiki? Hiyo pesa yote ni corruption.
Atasema yeye ni mfanya biashara, akona other sources of income.
Unafanya biashara upatie watu pesa.
Okay.
Fair question.
Okay.
Eddie?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to just to pick it from that angle of corruption. One major problem in Kenya is our laws. When you steal an empty bottle of a soda, you are jailed for 10 years. When you are arrested for robbery with violence, you are sentenced to death. But somebody who makes the violent robber goes scot-free. We need to overhaul our rules, our laws, such that if you steal 1 billion, you are sentenced to death or life. That is when we are going to address the issue of corruption. You asked one question, wale hawaja ingia boma yetu, but then you have not been answered. Let me speak for my fellow doubting Thomases. We are asking several questions. Maybe I'm 40 and I'm getting into that scheme. I'm expecting maybe by 45 I'm going to be economically inactive. What happens if I don't complete the payment? Am I being refunded or hiyo imekunywa maji?
Hiyo imekunywa.
Also we are asking myself, maybe I'm in 4th floor. After some times, because of tear and wear, I don't know what happens when maybe finally we have to demolish the structure. Do I remain with a title to that property which I bought? These are some of the issues which are keeping us away from registering in Boma Yetu.
Right.
Also, our status. I've never even touched 100,000, and the Boma Yetu is talking of 3 million. I
As the
start
deposit.
asking, where is it going to come? Also, my sister talked of election, that we should make very wise decisions when come 2027. I agree with that, but I'm asking the question. There is a friend of mine who has also texted me, I'm not going to mention the name, is asking, is election going to change anything in Kenya? Election is not going to change anything. We have been shifting leaders every other electioneering year. But that has never changed anything. Now niko na dawa. Dawa ndio hii. The devolution that the late Raila Odinga fought for has not been effectively effected. Like in the budget of 2025-2026, we are hearing that the counties are only getting 415 billion out of the 4 trillion, less than 8%. We should revisit this, and it is not even the 35% that Raila Odinga was speaking about. We know the legislation right now provides for 15%. We are going, if we are going to devolve funds from the national government to the tune of 50%, so that we only have 50% at the national government. Even hii mambo ya vita kila baada ya miaka 5 tunapigana will not be there. The presidency will be like nothing, because the counties will be empowered. Then we coupled it with anti-corruption fight. This is the medicine for this nation. Thank you.
Yes, I think I come in. My sister asked ati Ruto anajua wale watu wanaiba lakini hawataji. That's because it is him stealing. He's leading the stealing. The man is leading the stealing. And therefore Muizi hajitaja. Of course, he can only talk generally, because if there was goodwill, angetuambia ni nani anaiba. After all, yeye ana manage all of this. The office of the president will scanner ina print makaratasi juu na bilioni ngapi. Sio mitihani na sio gazeti. You wonder, hii printing wanafanya hii pesa yote inaenda wapi? Secondly, the issue of, there's an issue that was talked here, universities are failing. Unajua university have been failing because of management of the universities. Unapata universities inaingia into scheme, they are building buildings zenye hazitarudisha pesa. So at the end of the day, they get themselves into those messes that they have been. So most of the time, it's not because the government is not remitting money to the universities, but how the universities are managing the institutions and the corruptions that are happening at the university. So let no one lie to us that at universities are failing because the government has been overpromising. There's nothing to do with that. Secondly, relax. So secondly, I want to say the issue of corruption. Sisi, mtu akikwambia kwamba ati serikali haina uwezo ya kufanya basic things, but at the same time wanaenda wakifanya economic empowerment ya Kindiki amekuwa akifanya. One stops and wonder. Sasa hii ni economic empowerment gani? Umeenda umepatia vijana wheelbarrow, umepatia vijana sijui vitu ya smoking. Na at the same time unapata masomo unasema ya kwamba you are unable to fund. It beats logic. Saa zingine tunapiga hii makelele tunapiga because of what the government is doing, because you cannot tell me that the pesa economic empowerment yenye wanaenda wakifanya in millions ya kwamba ni pesa yao personal. It cannot be their personal money. It cannot be proceeds from their own businesses. I am running a business and I know how business operates. You cannot be taking your money from business and a dish out. The business will collapse. Okay. So let nobody lie to us that those people have other sources of income. They don't. Ni sisi ndio sources of income. They are eating from our pockets and they are misusing our resources. And therefore we are asking this government, ni ya kwamba education you are fully funded. If you really want to empower people, empower the programs. Weka pesa kwa programs. Wacha kukuja kutupatia 200 tukupigia magoti, tusifu jina yako, tuseme tutam, eti hiyo ndio empowerment yenye unatupatia. After all, umepatia vijana zaidi ya 500 vitu ya smoky in one area. Nani atakula smoky ya nani? You understand? Umepatia kila mtu wheelbarrow. Nani atabebewa mzigo? So you realize some of these things that they are saying that they economically empowering young people ndio inaleta fujo kwa hii nchi. Otherwise if things were done the way they are supposed to be done, then I believe the country would be doing better. Na hii mambo ya SHA I pen out because I've not spoken for a while. SHA, I personally believe it can work. And we cannot be sitting here allowing SHA for working for one person until you work for you, so you are starting to clap. As if NHIF was not working for anybody. You know, that's mediocrity. NHIF, by the time it was being scrapped, there were so many testimonials. As a matter of fact, ukienda kule vijijini, everybody was a beneficiary of NHIF and they were protesting its change because it was working for them. And therefore, one case, one testimonial, if I could kutufurahisha hapa, to feel ya kwamba inawaka as if NHIF was not working at all. All we are saying, it doesn't matter what name you give these schemes. All the Kenyan people are concerned about ni service provision, it's service delivery. So we don't care where you're calling it SHA, where you're calling it NHIF. Na hii mambo ya kuchange NHIF to SHA, it was just a matter of removing the cartels, kuweka cartels wengine. There's nothing yenye ili change kubwa.
John. Thank you, John.
Ni kumalizia tu na kusema, let's be vigilant as young people. Let's be vigilant as young people and let us keep this government accountable. Mtu asitudanganye hapa ya kwamba the government is working. It's not working.
Thank you. And I think I'll take those words that you've just said there. Let's be vigilant. Let's keep the government accountable as a fix, a proposal from John. We have about what, Jack? So about
maybe
3 minutes?
3 minutes left, yeah.
So a quick one, just with one line. How do we fix the nation?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, Alieka, you want to respond. Do not respond. No, now you're going to the future.
Yeah.
How do we fix the nation? What's your solution in one sentence?
Okay. For me, I believe the young people need to focus more on the agendas that these people are even bringing. Because that is the blueprint that is running the country. Like Now for Better. It's running the country. For us, we really need to start first by registering as voters. Tomorrow I will be in Chuka University, personally. I'm taking that responsibility as an active citizen. I have been going around the country, meeting Turkana students in all universities. All weekends on Saturday, you must find me in a university. Tomorrow, Turkana students in Chuka will be...
We said one sentence. So remember taking yours as register as voters.
Yes,
Sawa.
Voter registration and engaging in policy from campaigns to even...
All the way up.
Thank you. Lydia, Mike. Lydia, how do we fix the nation?
So for me, I think if we want to fix if we can implement Article 43 of the Constitution, we are at the right track.
What does Article 43 say?
Right to food, access to healthcare system, right to education, clean water, housing. So if we can do that one, I'm okay with it.
Fantastic. Kiberenge?
For me, I feel we need a break from the noise. We need a break from the rhetoric and the empty promises and the lies. We need a break from these fantasies. And that break, we should bring it in 2027. We need a Kibaki moment. Because the current president we have, there's nothing he's doing. But in order for us to think he's doing something, he's always on the top of our car. He thinks that if people see me more, they will think I'm doing something. So we need a break from that.
We need a Kibaki moment. That's what I'll say as yours. Sindio, happy?
Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya says every person has a responsibility to defend and protect the Constitution. Every person is an active citizen, is an activist. Tusisimame maovu
ya
ya
kitawala.
kitawala. Let's be active citizens. Let's stand up when things are not going on well. Asante.
Lydia?
Voting and holding those people you voted for accountable, starting with the representatives before you go to the national government.
Remy?
Elections are not won on social media and WhatsApp groups. Go to the ground, campaign, be realistic, be factual, but most importantly, prepare for Ruto's presidency 2027.
Eddie?
Fixing this nation requires truth, justice, and reconciliation. Let us get out of our tribal cocoons and think as a nation. Let us say poorly to those who are offended, those who are injured. Let us accept the poorly if you are injured. And to remind my friend, politics of this nation is mastered in Kamkunji and is mastered in Jacaranda. And then it spreads to Karen. Thank you so much.
John?
Short term, one term. Long term, put new generation leaders who have progressive thinking.
Margaret?
Let's be responsible and let's stop corruption, all of us. It is a big elephant. When we step up, it will be possible.
Okay. Susan?
Just like Margaret, let's fight corruption and also let's implement the constitution. Yeah.
To the fullest. Ndio?
Yeah.
Asante sana. You've been a wonderful, wonderful baraza. Thank you for speaking your minds, for being honest, for making time for us. We appreciate it. Online as well, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, we see all your feedback. Asanteni, even if you've just listened, you are on NTV, on Nation FM, and you are just thinking but not saying anything, we still appreciate you. We'll be back here Monday, 6 to 10 a.m. I'll see you, Eric.
Kabisa.
Hi, tupatane Monday basi. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Furahi day shike basi.
Safi. Thank you guys. Thank you.